Hello, I'm late for class. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and today we're gonna plant some more stuff. Now we planted our tomatoes, we planted some cucumbers, I planted some okra. I can't see who you are. I planted some okra and I planted, let's see, some beans, some watermelon, but I still don't feel like I planted enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant some more. And this is not the right laptop, so that's not gonna work. Not gonna work. So where did I put that laptop? Today is the day of forgetfulness. So I have some seeds here, right? And you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money on seeds. You don't. Dollar Tree may be out of seeds, but shoot, even if you buy from one of the better, from one of the bigger carriers like Baker Creek, or Burpee, or what is it? American seed. You could find these at Walmart, by the way, also, but they're a little bit more money. But you can find seeds everywhere. And the way things are going in the supermarket, I mean, it's not just the prices. Some of this stuff is scary that's going on. I'm just going to wait for my cucumbers to come in because I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be sick. And I know that my cucumbers will not make me sick, more than likely. So, unless something crazy happens, like something comes from the sky, because I know what I put on the ground. Now, if you are planting in your yard and you haven't had your soil tested, and you live, especially if you live in an urban area, go ahead and get your soil tested, because sometimes there can be some heavy metals in the soil, and that's not good for you. It could cause you to get a little sick and your children to be sick long term. So be careful with that. But you don't have to plant anything. I wish I could see it, but I can't. Hello, how you doing? Welcome. So you don't have to plant your things in the ground. You can plant them in pots. You can plant them in pots. That's how I start all of my seeds. Was it? They are, I can't see it. Too far away. So I start all of my seeds, most of my seeds. I put a couple of seeds in the ground, but I have a heavy bug population out here, and most of the time when I put something out there, man, it got to fight off these pests from the wild west, and most of the time the pests win. But there was a couple of things that I forgot to plant. So I have some beet seeds here. I always start my beet seeds inside. How are you doing? Welcome. So I always start my beet seeds indoors. So I have my Detroit dark red, right? And these are from Dollar Tree. This is back when it was 25 cents. Right now it's 4 for $1.25, which is not much. And even if you can't find them for 25, or what is it, 31 cents now for 4 packs of seeds, 4 packs for $1.25 now, right? It's still worth it. I planted some Dollar Tree seeds a couple of months ago, just like this. And look, let me try to hold this up. This is just the second time I've harvested. And that is just one, that isn't even 1 pack of seeds. It's not. I planted, I think, 14 plants, maybe. So today we're going to plant some beets, some cucumber, some Neucrum 1010. One of the subscribers told me about this last year and I forgot to plant it. So we're going to plant that. And I have, boy, get out of here. He's making noise. Oh, 2 types of cucumbers, because, there's a recall on cucumbers now, so I'm a little afraid. Right, so I got 2 types of cucumbers, and then I think, what else did I say I was gonna plant? I think beans, and maybe some sugar snap peas. So I got a lot, and all I'm gonna do is use these 2 pots Well, there's actually 4 pots because one of they started cracking. Got these also from Dollar Tree. $1.25 each. And there's 4 of them here. So what, $2.50, $5 for the pots and the soil. I got local soil, the stuff that I always use. Try to find some decent soil. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't use the cheap stuff because you'll pay for it. I learned my lesson on that. So the first thing we're gonna plant is gonna be our beets. So what I do, and I call this bulk planting. There might be a technical term, but I don't use it. How you doing? I can't see your name, but hello, welcome. All I do is put a line, right? Because last year, when I didn't do this and I direct sowed it, man, I didn't get any beets. None. And this is a root crop. You know, people be like, oh no, don't plant your root crops in a pot. You don't transplant root crops. Don't listen to them. When you got bugs like I got that eat everything with them roly-polies, or what do y'all call them, pill bugs down here. Up north, we call them roly-polies. Those roly-polies will take your stuff out. So we got beets here, right? Now they say, and I can't attest to this. I don't know. They say that if you plant one beet seed, it's actually a cluster of seeds. But I don't know. I always sprinkle them about, I say a half an inch apart in the pot, and they grow because they're in a controlled environment here. That's why I do it inside. I know somebody's gonna say, you know, you don't need to do that, put it outside. Well, I ain't listening to you because it don't work for me. All right, everybody has to do things differently, and there's more than one way to plant stuff. There's more than one way. Just like every human being is not the same, every seed is not the same, or every gardener is not the same. We all do things differently as long as you try. The only thing that I'm gonna say that you have to do is water this joker. You have to plant it and you have to water it. That's it. I'm not putting a whole bunch of seeds in here, but I'm putting enough. Enough for me to get some beets. The year before last, I had an excellent crop of beets. Because beets apparently they could take the summer. They could take that. Let me take this out. They could take heat. I didn't think they could, but they can. And I put them, and they work anywhere. I actually planted some in ground, and I kept some in some of them cement trays. Now, the ones in the cement trays didn't do as well. I'm trying to get as many as I can in here. Because they give you a lot. These Dollar Tree seeds, you get a bunch of them. On beets, you get about 50 seeds, if not 60, 70. So, why not plant them? Beets are very good for you. And that was one of the vegetables that I've always liked. Always. That and okra. I mean, I must be strange because I like corn, but I didn't care for it too much. I preferred beets. I thought they were sweet enough. My brothers didn't feel that way though. So I ate them, no problem. As a matter of fact, I would buy them. I don't like pickled beets though. Don't like that. I just like canned beets or fresh beets. When I moved here, I started juicing beets with pineapple. Let me see. It was beets, pineapple, and apple juice. Oh my God, that was so good. So here you go. I got 2 lines here, right? I can't read it, but hello. So all I do is I spread the soil over it. And this thing says it's supposed to be a 1/2 inch depth to sow, a 1/2 inch, but I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch. I do what I do, right? I might grab a little bit more from another pot just to make sure I cover them. That's it. Now, I could put this outside because it's warm out there right now, but I'm just afraid that it's going to dry out. You do not want your seeds, when you're starting seeds, you do not want the soil to dry out. You want to keep it damp. You don't want to keep it soppy, but you want to keep it damp like it is right now. I watered this in, by the way, before I started this. I watered this soil and made it. See how my hands is sticking to my hands? How you doing? I can't see what you're writing because I don't have my laptop. And I don't know where I put it. I've been cleaning up, and sometimes when you clean up and hide stuff from yourself. So I'm covering this stuff up, right? And beets will pop up. Beets are a strong one, but they're not strong enough to remove this. This is way too big, way too big. So we got, just like that, we got about, I say 30 to 50 beets planted in this little itty bitty tub that I got from Dollar Tree for $1.25. That's how cheap it could be to start seeds. And I'll just put it in a warm place. It doesn't need to be in light, by the way, initially, until it breaks. When it starts, usually I leave it on this table so I remember to water it. Until it breaks ground, when I start seeing green, then I'll put it in the light. Until then, it stays on this table where I water it, or it goes on the grow station. Well, the grow station is going upstairs, so that's not going to do. It's going to be on this table, so I'll remember to water it, and I'll just look at it, because you can tell when it's dry, the soil to be a different color. Or you just put your hand on it lightly, and you'll realize, hey, I need to put some more. So this one is too soppy, so I need to drain it. You don't want to drown your seed. You just want to plant your seed. Look at that. I overdid it. And I used the second pot as a to hold the water, but I just put too much water in this one. So I'm gonna hold it up till I can get most of this water out. Then I'll put it on this this shield I have on the table. So the next one we're gonna plant is gonna be, well, we're gonna plant a couple of things in here. I've never had this, so I'm gonna plant about 10 of these, 10 plants. So remember that when you're planting these seeds, just like, how can I say it to, I hatch chicks, right? And they always start off super small, but they grow up. So 10 seeds, or maybe I'll do 12 seeds, just in case I don't get a good germination, but I'm pretty sure I will. I'm gonna put about 12 seeds out there. I expect about at least 10 plants or more, right? And then I'm gonna move on and plant something else in this pot. It's not gonna be just one. I have some more pots here, but that's for a couple of other things. I think I'll put the beans and the peas in that one. So we got, I'm gonna cut this thing in half, right? Use half for the okra. We already did the beets, so I don't need that one. And half for our contender beans. You notice that a lot of this stuff is from Dollar Tree. I don't discriminate. I buy stuff from everywhere. The only thing I care about is that I have a limit on how much I'll pay for seeds, but as long as I get a decent amount of seeds and the seeds germinate, I'm happy. Now, I have had a couple of instances where I purchased something online and I didn't get a good germination rate. I was ticked. Because some of those seeds, some seeds you only get 20 seeds in. Like this one, contender, you're not going to get a lot of seeds on this. But these plants, they put out and they grow. Definitely grow. So I don't mind that the seed count is not as high. I'm picking the big sticks out. All right. That's another thing with buying inexpensive soil. You're going to have to pick some sticks out. You're just going to have to do it. So I got 2 lines here, right? That I just made. Right there. And all I'm going to do, let me not put my seeds here because you don't want your seeds to get wet. I'm going to go ahead and get my okra. Cup my hand. I'm gonna put about 12 seeds in here, or maybe I'll start off with 6. And that's 7. That's good enough. All right, and I'm just gonna put them in this on the soil, and you'll see where the seeds are going. You can kind of move it around with your finger. These are not small seeds. Now, if you were doing something like callaloo or a lot of the herbs, oh gosh, those seeds are, or mustard seeds, oh, small. I love mustards, by the way. I didn't realize I like mustard so much until I started growing them. Mustards are great. Oh, they're so good. But they get huge. Those little seeds, they start off as nothing, little dots. And man, mustards are good. And they grow. Okay, here's 6. So I planted, what, 13 seeds? Let me put this over here. I don't want them to get wet. Sometimes when I open a pack of seeds, I go ahead and I put it in a plastic bag. But if there's any dampness on the seed, you don't want to do that because then it'll mold. So I planted a little bit more than I said I was going to do, but that's okay. Now I'm not going to cover this up because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plant my sugar snap peas. My neighbor told me to direct sow these, but I ain't gonna do it. I can't change my ways. I can't. And this thing is soppy. Please don't come over here. Wet me up. I should have did the whole thing the way it's supposed to be done, because you're supposed to origami this joker, but I didn't do it. No. I did it my way. Now I'm paying the piper. So I'm doing another line, right? I've been gardening all day because I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do for a little while. And sometimes, you know, you feel like you're starving yourself. If you have a hobby, just like if you get used to going to the gym and you don't go for, I don't know, 5 days, man, you feel like you don't feel right. That's how I feel as a gardener. If I can't go out to my garden in a couple of days, man, I just don't feel like I'm doing anything. So here we go. I got 4 in my hand, and I'm gonna put them in there. 1, 2. I'll definitely know the difference between these jokers. Oh, I got 5 in my hand. 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna just plant 8. And number 5 is gonna go right here, right? Okay, I got 3 more here. 6, 7, and 8. So we got our okra on this side, and we got our peas on this side. So I'm just gonna cover the peas up, right? I'm gonna cover my okra up. Make sure it covers itself up, because it wants to pop up sometimes. And because I don't want to get confused, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one right here, right? So it says pea and okra. So I'll know. I can mark them later on. I didn't bring my markers over here, so these 2 are done. And I got all this water that I could use. I always got a plan. All right. Put this back on top of this one. Right. Now I got a problem because I got all this water here, but it's okay. It's okay. All is well. So we got our peas and our okra planted. You don't need a lot of space. You don't need a lot of anything in order to plant stuff. All you need is to make time to do it and try. It's a little learning curve, but some plants are harder than others, but most of them is set it and forget it. Let's put the beets right here. So we know that this is beets. Okay, so I have another tray here. Oh no. I have another tray here full of water. Come on over here, guys. So I planted some cucumbers outside. And it used to be, some people say it still happens, that you get more than one cucumber in these little, in these little pods. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm put 2 seeds per pod. So I'm put two straight 8 right here. I don't care what kind of cucumber it is. And then I have National Pickling. They don't look the same, so when they produce, I'll know them by the way they look. So I'm gonna put my seed here. I'm just gonna take my finger and do it real rustic here, right? I made 2 divots, right? Not too deep. The smaller the seed is, the less you bury them. I can't see the comment. I'm sorry. The smaller the seed is, the less you bury it. As a matter of fact, some seeds, you don't bury them at all. Mustard seed, you don't bury them. Callaloo, you don't bury them. Oh, a lot of the herbs, you don't bury them. If they are dust level seeds, just put it on top and keep it moist. Spray it with a hair sprayer. That's what I use. Same thing. If I have water in a sprayer for my hair, I use that for the seeds, the smaller seeds. But these are big seeds, so I'm not too worried about it. These seeds are probably a 1/2 inch. Yeah, big seeds, they usually say a 1/2 inch. But the smaller the seed, the less you bury them. Just remember that. Because a lot of people will plant stuff and they be like, oh, F seeds are no good. They didn't come up. It's because you buried it too much. The plant wasn't able to break through the soil. So I got 2 right there. So my straight 8 are planted. I got all these logs in here. Straight 8 are planted. And I need to put a little bit more soil in here. I don't feel comfortable like that. Okay, so we did the straight 8, which is right here. Now we're going to do National Pickling. Man, I'm almost done. Yeah, did I do the contender? No, I didn't do the contender. Okay, I'm almost done. So this one is National Pickling. When I bought it, it was 25 cents. Right now, it's 31 cents. It went up at the Dollar Tree. And here we go. I got 4 seeds. So I'm going to divot, drop the seed, drop the seed. Some people succession plant in the summertime. A lot of people do, because some plants will give you all they got and then they won't produce any more. Tomatoes, determinate tomatoes are like that. As a matter of fact, that's why I don't plant many of them, because if they start putting on flowers in the, it's already hot here. Well, I ain't gonna get nothing because all the flowers are gonna fall off and then it's not gonna flower again. That's why I plant cherry tomatoes and tomatoes that are indeterminate. And you'd have to look that up before you plant the particular tomato. But if you're up north, you should be good to go. Because I remember up north, we was planting every kind of tomato there was, and we didn't have no problem. So I got these 2 done. Done, done. On to the next 2. So I got Mammoth sunflowers. And I like these because they're pretty and you can eat them. I was having garden envy the last year because my neighbor had some sunflowers, and they were the sunflowers followed the sun. Oh, they were so pretty. So I got some planted. She gave me some, but I want some more. So I'm planting some more. The problem I had last year with these sunflowers is that when I put them out, the cutting bugs came out and ate them. Just broke them in half. So I planted 3 there. And I just bought these because this is the new price, $125. 4 for $125. And you don't have to buy 4. You just buy what you want. A lot of the Dollar Trees, people aren't buying seeds like they used to. And people go through the seeds and they make a mess, and then the store just puts them in a big old pile You have to go through the pile and get what you want. And what I did, I went and got a couple of rows of seeds. I would just went through the pile and saw what was left, because I feel bad if I buy a bunch of seeds when they first put them out, and I mean a bunch. If I buy a bunch of seeds when they first put them out, I feel like I'm not giving other gardeners the opportunity to buy seeds. So I wait. I get what I want. I get like maybe 4 packs of each, and then I wait until in Texas we get seeds out. I think late February, early March. We get the seeds out quick. Everybody rushes to the store. Every gardener rushes there. I gotta repackage these. So these are contenders. Contender beans. If you grow these jokers, oh my God, they are so good. They are so good you can eat them raw. That's how good they are. I got some out there struggling right now, but we'll see. So I just put 2 in. Excuse me. I just put 2 in there. And here's another 2. And these are big old beans. Look at that. See that? See my hand? Let me put it in the middle of my hand. Big beans. Can't miss these jokers. And I'm just going to cover it up. Press it down. Not hard, but press it down. So I got one that's stuck in here, right? I'm going to put these in a plastic bag, but I'm going to put the package on here. Just like that, we got basically a garden, minus the peppers, because I've already planted peppers. Peppers take a long time to come up. Peppers take about 14 up to 14 days to break soil. So don't just say it's not growing and what's going on with my peppers. They take a while sometimes. Every pepper is different, but every pack is different. But most of the time it's going to take you going on week 2 for you to see anything come up. So we got beans, we got the sunflowers, we got our cucumbers, we got our beets, and we have okra and peas. All done. Just like that. Now, I didn't intend to be on here long, but I want to show you guys how easy it is to just do this stuff. And find a spot. They don't need light initially. They don't need any light. Put it in a corner, but remember to water it. That's the trick. Remember to water it and keep it in a warm place, a warm, dark place. There are a few herbs or plants that require sun in order to germinate. Not all plants are alike, but most of them dark until they pop through the ground. And with beans and peas, you're gonna see them come up quick. Beans, I might see them by tomorrow, because I mean, I'm serious. These jokers show up quick, show up real quick. Most of them do. It'll tell you the germination, days to germination for the sunflowers is 10 to 14. The beans are 5 to 10 days. I don't believe that, because I've had them come up before that. And they say the cucumbers are 7 to 14 days. And when they come up, they're going to come up, and they're going to come up with a vengeance. Peas, sugar snap peas, 7 to 14 days. And my okra, it's a different company, so they wrote it a different way. 7 to 14 days. Half a month. Just make sure you water it. Hell, tell your kids to do it. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I am so sorry that I didn't bring my my laptop out there. All of this stuff is super easy to grow, especially these jokers. Tomatoes and peppers, easy. Especially tomatoes. You know how they test, this is just a rumor, how they test soil, like if anything will grow on the land. They take a tomato and they go to a landfill, and the tomatoes still grow. Anybody grow tomatoes. Anybody. And once you get a tomato, go ahead and harvest your seeds. If you find a tomato that tastes really good, because I have one, it's called a blueberry tomato. It tastes a little different than the rest of them. If you can tell the difference between the taste of tomatoes, that is. Some people like a tomato is tomato. Go ahead and harvest your seeds. Go ahead and harvest your seeds. Dig the seeds out, put it on a strainer, and run the water over until you get your seed, put it on a paper towel and let it dry out, and you'll have seeds forever. You don't have to buy seeds again. Same thing with bell peppers. If you have bell peppers that now I saw a video where this guy bought bell peppers from the store, and I didn't have a lot of success with bell peppers from buying bell peppers from the store and actually growing them, but I'm gonna try it again. He's inspired me. We'll see. But this stuff grows, and they grow so quick. You know, before you know it, you're going to have 1,000,000 tomatoes, and you don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and having people pick over your food and having to guess and spell what's on it, what kind of pest or herbicides on it, because you know you didn't put nothing on there. So you could put them in a pot. You could put them by a potted plant. You could put tomatoes in a potted plant. And no one ever says this. These jokers, bell peppers, tomatoes, they are perennials. They don't go away unless they get froze to death, or you don't water them. You could have, I have bell pepper plants that are going on 3 years. You don't have to replant this stuff. If you have it in a potted plant, shoot, drag that joker inside, you know, cut off most of the leaves, or don't cut off most of the leaves. I don't do nothing. I just put it in the greenhouse. I have a little cheap greenhouse I got from Walmart, and I make sure that it stays warm. And I don't have to worry about, as a matter of fact, the year before last, I had tomatoes and bell peppers growing, still producing in the wintertime. I put a little heater, a little garage heater in there. I ran an extension cord from the back door into the greenhouse, and it was producing. As a matter of fact, my fruit was still producing. It didn't know. The plant didn't know that they didn't know that it was wintertime. Especially tomatoes and the bell peppers. They were definitely giving me something. There are videos on it on my channel. About a year, not last year, but the year before last. All winter harvesting. I had basil in there and everything. So grow your stuff. Grow the things that you love so that you know that you're safe and that you don't have to pay a bunch of money for it, mainly for the safety purposes, because things are getting a little strange around here, ain't it? This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me. I'm not going to stay on here long. I just want to show you how quickly we could do something like this with very little money and very little time. Thank you. Keep planting, keep growing, and you all stay safe, all right? Bye, y'all.